The election season is back in India. 4 states and 1 union territory will be going to polls this year, and the BJP is quite ambitious to make inroads into the southern states, mainly Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Now, in the south, Karnataka is the only state that the BJP has managed to gain a stronghold in. With at least one state under control in the south, the Saffron Party is planning to use Karnataka as a springboard to trebuchet itself to the throne in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So, what is BJP's plan and what does BJP have in store this time? What's the strategy this time around? Well, I'll tell you all this and more in this special report. You're watching TV9 News and I'm your host Deepak. Now, 2 southern states and 1 union territory will be going to polls along with Assam and also West Bengal this year. The Saffron Party is doing everything in its capacity to gain control over the southern states, and Karnataka is the only lone state which sees BJP at the helm of its affairs in the south, whereas Kerala and Tamil Nadu have been tough nuts for the BJP to crack into. So, to make things easier and to get its desired result, the Karnataka BJP headquarters has taken up an active role in managing the party's campaign. So BJP leaders from Karnataka have been assigned major responsibilities ahead of the crucial assembly polls. So let's start off with the BJP's plans in Puducherry. Now, speak of Puducherry, and for most non-residents, the union territory conjures up images of a holiday destination or a destination of the French legacy of its colonial past. The BJP is very keen, and the BJP will not be laid back in this union territory. In fact, it is going all out even though Puducherry is a relatively small assembly of not more than just 33 members and sends just 1 MP to the Lok Sabha. So, to make things easier for the Saffron Party, BJP Rajya Sabha MP Rajiv Chandrasekhar has been appointed as the co-in-charge of Puducherry along with Nirmal Kumar Surana, who has been given charge of the union territory. Now, along with this, the BJP has also deployed 30 BBMP corporators to work in each and every constituency, and the names of these corporators and the bigwigs were cherry-picked by the BJP High Command itself, and these lieutenants will have to come up with the best ideas which would bolster BJP's image in the constituencies across Puducherry. Kerala, on the other hand, has been a barrier to BJP's ambitions in the south. However, with its vision crystal clear to take over God's own country, the Saffron Party is focusing on specific number of seats. Manjeshwar, among others, is located a few kilometers away from Mangaluru, and 60 to 75% of the population comprises Tulu and Kannada speakers. So, to have its Karnataka influence, the party has fielded K. Surendran as its candidate from Manjeshwar constituency. However, bigwigs like Union Minister Pralhad Joshi and Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan are appointed as its election in charges for Kerala, and MLA Sunil Kumar is the in charge of Kerala. Now, I had a conversation with the Deputy Chief Minister Ashwath Narayan himself, and here is what transpired.
Sir, firstly, I would like to congratulate you as you've been appointed as the election in charge for Kerala.
Sure.
And my first question to you is, what are your plans going forward, sir, in Kerala as an election in charge? What are the duties that you've been assigned, and what are your plans?
Basically, it assesses the ground situation and ensures and strengthen the campaign, election management. Basically, look into the election management, bring coordination, prioritize, get the ground reports, work, ensure the victory of the candidates.
Okay.
Bring party to the power.
All right, sir. And also, yesterday, Kerala High Court has rejected the nomination of 3 NDA candidates on grounds that their papers did not have the signatures of the party's president. So, what do you have to say about this?
Probably some error, oversight of people, oversight of
Okay, so what is the plan on this front, sir, going ahead? Because now that the nominations have been rejected,
That the party will inform. Party will inform in this constituency what will be our strategy.
Okay. Sir, and one more thing. Sabrimala will now be a very big poll issue in Kerala. So, with respect to that, what are your plans, sir?
Yeah, basically, since the government doesn't, respect the sentiments, the sentiments or the culture or the rituals of the people of devotees of the Sabrimala,
Okay.
then what respect they have got for any of the people they represent? They represent all these people. They don't have any respect for them or any concern for them. So this is going to be a very defining movement where they have to be answerable, they have to be accountable. People have to reject them. This is the only way in democratic process. People who don't do anything, go against the people's wishes, they have to be voted out. They need to be sent out.
Okay. Sir,
This is the best way of doing it.
Okay, sir. Sir, now my last question to you is, the BJP has fielded K. Surendran in Manjeshwar, and
Yes.
in this elections he lost by a very less margin.
Okay.
So, what made the BJP field him again this time?
What is the BJP?
What made your party to field Mr. Surendran again, sir?
Yes, he's our young and dynamic leader, and he's the president. He's been well connected with the people of Kerala. The people look up to him, and people of Manjeshwar as well as Koni, they wanted him to contest from both the constituencies. Yes, this was the popular demand. It was not him.
Okay.
It was a demand by the party workers and the party and the people for him to contest from both the places.
Okay, sir. So, what's your final take on when it comes to the election situation in Kerala, sir? What do you think would be the result for BJP? Would it be the desired?
There's a lot of churning happening. A lot of churning is happening, and people are fed up with LDF and UDF.
Okay.
And they look up to NDA for a better future because they've seen both these friends for past many decades.
Okay.
And they couldn't see much of progress in digital or manufacturing or investment, industrialization or agriculture, any of the sector. They are not done well. So it has not kept pace with the kind of, the people's aspiration or the abilities and capabilities. If you compare to the abilities and capabilities of the people of Kerala, the progress or the economic development is nothing.
Okay, so BJP is going to come in and change everything.
Yes, definitely.
All right, sir.
Definitely.
Many thanks. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Now finally moving on, let's speak about Tamil Nadu. Similar plans have been laid for Tamil Nadu as well. BJP leader C.T. Ravi has instructed 20 MLAs and 150 party functionaries from Karnataka to oversee the campaigning in the poll-bound state. Along with C.T. Ravi, MLA Muniratna has also been given in charge of Arava Kurichi, and former IPS officer Annamalai has been fielded from the same constituency. Along with that, the social media team has also been sent to Kerala. So, it all remains to be seen how BJP's plan will pan out. So, what do you think? Can BJP quench its long pending thirst for power in the south this time around? Well, leave your opinions in the comment section below, and also do not forget to like, share and subscribe to TV9 News on various social media platforms. Many thanks for watching.